Suzanne Thomas here. Welcome to BeWellWithSue.com for a Q&A Monday. And today's question is really juicy good, so I thought it would be worth starting up this video series for the Q&A and dive right in. So this question is from Shauna, or Shana, I'm not quite sure how to pronounce your name, but one of my Facebook friends wrote to me and asked. She says, Suzanne, when you first started eating raw, were you 100%? And how long before you dropped the excess weight? And I just love this question because it's so juicy, my answer, and gets to kind of dive into a little bit of my personal story of how I found that, for me, losing weight was not just about the food. And so when I first started eating raw, I was 100% raw for about 1 week. And this was back in 2003. My mother and I went to an uncooking class, and I was really excited about the raw food diet and the healing powers. And it was winter time, and I thought, I'll do 1 week and see how this goes. And I remember having headaches and, some signs of pretty uncomfortable detox, and thinking, well, I must not be doing it right, on the third, fourth day, but I'm going to keep going. And on that sixth day, and it was a weekend, and I was skiing, and I recall walking into the lodge and smelling chili cheese fries and just being like, oh, I love chili cheese fries! And instead I'm going to eat this walnut pate mix that took me like a half hour to make, and it's cold, and, I was true to my word, though, stuck with my walnut pate, and felt a little deprived, and not necessarily weak later skiing, but didn't feel that filling of like, warm meal in your belly. And anyways, so I was 100% raw for about 1 week when I first started eating raw. And then because I had those symptoms of detox, I thought I was doing something wrong. No one had told me about detox back then and what could happen. So I went back to eating a primarily vegetarian diet. A few years later, I was with this boyfriend who found the raw food diet and was just like, we gotta start sprouting, babe, we gotta eat 100% raw. And he was kind of the stay-at-home mom during that time, and I was working full-time with a good job. And so he stayed home and made the meals and was 100% raw. So I was 100% raw. I didn't really have a choice. I would be scrutinized for bringing bread in the house. Definitely not good to have any beer or coffee in the house. And that started to drain on me emotionally because I gave my personal power away. And I personally love coffee, really like the taste of it and the buzz. And so what I did was I ate 100% raw at home with him, and then when I went to work, I would have my coffee. And realizing that I wasn't being in true integrity with myself, and just saying like, hey, stop it. Look, I'm going to make coffee at home. I'm going to make my French press every morning if I want, and that's okay. And so instead of doing that, I, snuck off to work and had my little cup of what do you call it, like acid pot or something, because it's so acidic, And so I'd have my little acid pot cup and enjoy it, feeling a little guilty. And whenever this man in my life would leave town, I would binge, and I would have like my favorite sinful foods, and it would be like brie cheese on sourdough bread with roasted garlic and apple with a beer. I'd be like, yes! And, still have some healthy foods too, but for the most part I was on this like crazy pendulum, and that wasn't necessarily the best thing for my body. And when we broke up, I became more into this committed lifestyle of mine that I want to eat practical raw and enjoy some raw foods, but if I want to have coffee, so be it. If I want to even have a little bit of dairy, that's fine with me too. And what happened was, when I incorporated this attitude of I love myself, I'm going to nourish myself, and hold my personal power, and that wellness, and particularly my weight, is not just about the things that I put in my mouth and the food that I eat. There's so much more to what makes you feel good. And I came to develop the Fresh Start lifestyle, and that food is just one component. It's the base. And so Fresh Start stands for the 10 things that I believe you have to have a good relationship with to be in the best health you can be. And when you're in alignment and in balance with these 10 things, then that's when you will lose the weight. That's when you will feel great. So it's food, rest, exercise, sunshine, hydration. That's Fresh Start, service, trust, attitude, recreation, and temperance. And temperance, is avoiding the extremes of things. So if you want to have a glass of wine, have one a week. If you drink every night, that's not necessarily in balance with your true self and what you really need to do, because think about it, you're intoxicating yourself every day. Same thing, goes with exercise. How do you expect to lose weight and have a really toned body just by eating healthy foods? You can't. We are meant to move. We have legs and joints to move our bodies. You've got to get out and exercise. It's so important. And also rest. You have to have time for your body to heal itself and release these things. If you're just always on the go, 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 there's not that chance for internal cleansing and healing. And by rest, I also mean detox. And so what I like to do myself personally is 4 times a year go on a juice fast, where I have nothing but 100% organic vegan juices, freshly made by myself. And I'll have wheatgrass shots and, a lot of greens, and just give my colon a rest and allow my system to recharge. So when I decided that I was not feeling well just by eating 100% practical raw, or so practical raw is a range of raw foods for what's practical for you, and that wasn't just the answer, that there was also these other components that I needed to really look at and think about, am I getting enough exercise? Am I getting enough sunshine? Am I having enough recreation and time with my friends and family so I feel really nourished? For me, one of the big things was service and doing a job that I really love. Because you see, all these other things feed us too. They feed our emotions and our spirits. And you can't fill a gaping spiritual chasm with something physical. That's from Angela Stokes, and it's so true. You have to have these other things feeding us positively and giving us light and nourishment in other ways for you to really lose the weight. So once I started wrapping my head around how complex our body, mind, spirit really is, and it's all this one interweaving ball of loveliness, it was about 3 months before my weight just really shed off. And that was, a gradual progression of me going from a size 12 back down to the size 6 that I am now. And it's been about 2 years, and it's easy. It's just now I don't really have too much of an issue with my weight, and it's great. I'd love to help you do the same too. I hope this answers your question about how long to take you to lose the weight with my little convoluted answer, because it's not just, do this for 7 days and you'll be fine. Because there's so many different ways you can eat raw food too. You could be one of those people who eat raw foods and you're just like overloading on desserts and having tons of organic cheesecake and these really rich nutty dishes, and those aren't necessarily going to help you lose weight, because macadamia nuts and avocados, and there's a lot of raw foods that are high in fat and delicious, but they're not going to help you lose weight just like that. And then if, let's say you do decide to go on some sort of sprout diet and you're eating just sprouts and having a cleanse of juices, that again is going to have you lose weight fast. But then afterwards, are you really going to be satisfied? Afterwards, are you going to be able to sustain that lifestyle? Is it something that really feeds and nourishes your soul? So that's my answer. I believe any day You can start a fresh start, and every day you have to live a fresh start if you want to have a fully radiant self and be the best that you can be in your own body. And that's what we're here to do, to shine bright. That's that. So I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. Thanks for stopping by and hanging out with me here. If you liked it, like it. And feel free to leave me a comment down below. And as always, be well.